Okay. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I believe everyone can hear me, right? Okay. Thank you so much. So, today we'll be talking about. Thank you for that thumbs up. That's a sign that you can hear me. Thank you for that thumbs up. So today I want us to talk about something. It is something we have been using. Okay, it's something we have been using, and but I want to create like a clearer understanding of what that thing is. And that is what we call functions in Python. It's what we call functions. Okay. Now you might be wondering what are functions in programming or yeah, functions in programming. Okay. So in programming, when you hear the word function, I will tell you that a function is just a small computer. A function is a small computer in your program. Okay. That is like you are writing a code that does something, okay, and that code is just a small thing. It's not like the entire program. Let's make an instance. Those of us that joined in the first and second class, those of us that joined in the first and second class, you will notice that we made a calculator, yeah, and we created a function while we were making that calculator. We created a function. What does the function do? The function helps, okay, to add two numbers, to add two numbers. That's what the function does. So today we'll be exploring function clearly. Now let's start with how functions are being declared in Python. Let's start with how functions are being declared in Python. Okay, let me see this. Okay, now let me share my screen. Share my screen. I may have to. Oh, sorry. Mm, okay. No, sorry. That's not what I want. Okay, good. So now I'll be using this material. It's my material. Okay, to explain what a function do, and we'll also be using edu blocks to write most of our codes. We'll be using edu blocks to write most of our codes. Now, the first thing I want us to do is let's get down to edu blocks. Okay, I'm logging into my edu blocks account. Okay. Okay, good. Now I'll be creating a new project. This time around, I'll be working with text, not block. Okay, I'll be working with text base. Okay, not block. Because I believe we have transitioned from block-based programming to text-based programming. So I want us to put that in mind. But the both kind of programming are still perfect. Okay, the both kind of programming are still perfect, yeah, but text-based is kind of, it's more matured. How will I say it? Like it gives you some kind of feeling that you have control over every program. Yeah, you have control over what you're building. But when it is block based, it's like you have some limitations. Okay. So please, class, if there's any question, any confusion, if I'm too fast or too slow, please do well to just indicate by raising up your hand in the class so I can listen to what you want to say. Okay. Now, in our program here, let's do this. We are to write a program. We are to create a Python function. How does it work? Now, in Python, we have what we call def, def, def. Def, let me just take this off. Def, I believe this screen, let me see if I can zoom. Um, okay. Okay, so it will be clear for those using their phones. Now, def means define in Python. It means, hey, define a function in Python. And when you are defining a function in Python, you have to give that function a name. You have to give the function a name. Now, I am going to define a function that says that's greetings. The name of the function is going to be greetings. Okay? The name of the function is going to be greetings. Now, take note of this. You will make sure that what you put this, you put that parenthesis, that is, you open the bracket and you close it. While you are doing block-based coding, you will notice that the brackets are being added for you. Okay? But in text-based coding, you have to put in the bracket yourself and never forget this sign. Please take a look at it. Never forget it. Look for it on your keyboard. It's very necessary in Python programming. Now, the next thing is when you hit enter, Python helps you do something. Indents. This is indentation. The code should, your next line of code should not start from here. Your next line of code should start from here. Okay. In Python, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what Python, that is 4 spaces. That is what Python requires. Okay. But even without that, when you hit enter, it automatically indents you in the correct place. Now, what we have done here is that we have created a function by using def, that is define a function. Okay, in programming world we define it. Okay, so we have defined a function. So a question in the class. Okay, thank you, thank you. I will have to slow down. Okay, okay. So in Python, let me start this part again. The word def is being used to define a function. Okay, don't let the word define sound like it's one big thing. Define simply means you are creating a function. Okay, define simply means you are creating a function. Okay, and now we have given the function a name. The name of our function is what? Who can tell me from the class? You can unmute your mic and just chorus it, then mute your mic again. What's the name of our function? Okay, okay, I got that. Let me see. Who can tell me the name of the function? Okay, I'm getting messages. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. You got it right. The name of the function is greetings. Okay. Does anybody want to say something? Sorry. I may help to mute. Okay, good. Please want to say, okay. Please, if you want to say anything, feel free to raise up your hand in class and just say it. Okay. So now our function has been created. It's called, the name is called greetings. Thank you for those who answered in my direct message. The name is called greeting. That is the name of our function. It's called greetings. Now, after creating a function, the next thing is, what does the function do? Okay, what does this function, what does it do? What is it going to do? Now, because for instance, for something to have a name, it must have an action. Anything at all that has a name should have an action. So a function has a name and it has an action. So now we've given it a name. Now let's give it an action. The action that we want this one to do is to print. Let's do something basic. Print blissful morning. Oh god. Okay, so it's great blissful morning. Now let's run this function. I will have to reduce my screen again so that we can see how our function runs. Okay, now to run it, you just need to hit the run button. Okay, now you've hit the run button. What has happened? Nothing. Look at this place. Nothing is happening here. Why is nothing happening here? Because you only created the function. I only created the function, but I did not tell the computer what to do. Okay, now let me tell the computer what to do. That means I want to call that function. Okay, if I say something like this, greetings. Now if I do something, now I've created a function, I can come down anywhere and do greetings. Okay, help me, sorry. Greetings. Okay, and I open and close. Now I've done this. Now let me run it again. You can see it worked. Now what this simply means is that I have created this function somewhere. I can hide this function. Let me show you something. I'm trying to prove a point here. Now, okay, good. Now, if you look at my screen, the only thing you see is greetings. That's the only thing you see. That means I have created a function and I can use the function as many times as I want. I don't need to start doing print greetings again. All I need to do is just take this code. Okay, if I want you to greet again, I do this and I run my code. Let me admit some more people. Now, when I do this and I run my code the second time, it says blissful morning. Okay, now you might be wondering that what is happening here. What is simply happening here is that what I have created a function already. Just like I have created a small computer up here already. And that computer, the only thing it does is it greets people by saying blissful morning. Okay, that's what it says. Blissful, that's the only thing it does. So anywhere in my code, if I want to use this function, I don't need to start doing the long story of okay, let me clear all I've done here. Let me clear all I've done here and do this thing this very normal way. Let's say if everybody wants to greet blissful morning, you can do this. Print blissful morning. Okay. Now when I do this print blissful morning, it says blissful morning. Now that means if I want to say it, I will have to tell the computer to print it 100 times. Let's do so this blissful morning again 2 times. But the truth is, it is making my code repeat, like it's giving me kind of repetition. Okay, but if I had created a function, I don't need to start writing print blissful morning again. I don't need all of that. All I need is simply this. I need is simply to clear this. Now remember, I defined a function. Okay, define the function and I defined a function and I gave it a name greetings. Now this time let me use a different name like greet. Let me use a different name like greet instead of greetings. Okay, that's to let you know that you can name your function anyway. But remember the naming principle Please, the naming principle, use small letters or snake case or camel case. Remember, we've done that before, okay? We might need to review that if you don't understand it clearly. So this time I am naming it great, okay? Now I open and close and I put this and I indent. Now I've given it a name, great, okay? Now let me tell you what to do. I can tell you to save something very long. Let's say print print um print let's say, let me get a long story somewhere. Let me get a long story somewhere. Mm, okay. Okay, I just copied this from a text so that I can use it to explain something. Oh, this is quite long, but doesn't matter, it's okay. Okay, now I have created a function that prints this particular message to your screen. Now, all I need to do here is just run it, okay? So the function is there already. So anytime I want the computer to print this particular message, I don't need to start telling it print so long message again. All I just need to do is just to call greet, tell it to greet, okay? And I run. Can you see it here? Take a look at it here. Now, so I can do that multiple times. So I tell it to greet again, and I hit run. Now it has printed greet. It has done the function of greet 2 times. I don't know if I'm passing a message. Am I passing the message correctly? Good, thank you. So I have done this greet 2 times. So that is exactly how, when you see a computer for instance, you go to a mall or a bank, okay, and the security door does something. Maybe the security door stops somebody from entering the bank. It's just a function, okay? It's a function that will tell the door, do not open for so thing, or you get. So it's a function that runs all of those things. You get. So you don't need to start rewriting the program multiple times or regularly every time. No, just create a function and you can call that function anywhere in your code. Anywhere in your code. Now let's go further. Let's look at functions that listen. Okay. Now we have what we call functions that listen. Let me clear this output and let me clear all of this too. Now let's create a function that listens. What I mean by function that listens is that there are functions that do not just give you information or that output something. A function that can take something in. Okay, a function that takes something in, then gives something out from what it has taken in. That's what I want us to look at. Now, a practical example of that is this. Now, let's define a function again. Let's say this one is something. Okay, let's still use greet. Let's give it a name called greet again. But this time, instead of just greet, it's going to greet you. Okay. Now, this time I want you to print. This function is going to print hello. Hello. Now, but I want you to print hello, John, if your name is John. Hello, Peter, if your name is Peter. Hello, Taye, if your name is Taye. Hello, Johnson, if your name is Johnson. And hello, Ken. My name is Ken. Okay? I want you to print something but from what it has taken. That is going to ask for something and give out something out. Okay? So now let's do this. Now we'll do hello. Now there's what we call concatenation. Any question, please? Okay, thank you. Now, there's what we call concatenation. I'm using this plus sign. Take note. The plus sign. That plus sign means you want to join something to something. In programming, plus can mean addition, but if you use plus with letters, it concatenates. It's no longer addition, it concatenates. Concatenate means joining. Remember, addition means summing up. 5 plus 5 in terms of addition is 10. That is, it sums it up. Okay? But 5 plus 5, when they are strings, it gives you 55. Okay, let me note this down because I will need to explain this also with some lines of code. Let me note it down somewhere. I'll need to explain it. 5 plus 5, that is number, then 5 plus 5. Okay, now I hope I remember. Okay, so now let's come back here. What we are doing here is simply we want to add it to a name. We want to add it to a name. Now, that means this particular function will not just say hello. Okay, like let's make it say good morning. Good morning. It asks for your name. Okay, it asks for your name, and let's give it an exclamation mark. This one makes it look good. Okay. Now we have created this function. Let me zoom out a bit so that don't worry, you will get to understand all of this before the end of today's class. They are just basic things that if you understand the trick, you know it's very easy. Now, I've created a function called greet, and what the function does is to tell it asks for your name and tells you good morning and calls your name. Okay, just let me mute somebody's. Okay, okay, so we won't have background noise. So now this is what it does. Now let's do this. Let me reduce the screen size. Okay, good. Now it's blocking. Okay. Now let me drop this one somewhere here. Okay. Now, any question, please? Okay. Okay. Now let me call the function I have created. Remember this function, like I told you, it greets, but it does not just say good morning. It does not just say hello. It takes your name as an input. Okay. It takes your name as an input. Not just it takes your name as an input and says hello John if your name is John, hello Peter if your name is Peter. Now let's do this. Let's now call the function is called greet. Okay, now I'll open the bracket. Now, oh sorry, I missed something there. Greet. Now what I'm doing is taking an input. Let me say greet Ken. Good. I said greet Ken. Do you know what happened there? Remember in our previous code, even in this place, we created a function and we gave it, it has a bracket, okay? It has a bracket, but the bracket is empty, there's nothing in it. So in this particular code, now that is where you will know the importance of the bracket. The bracket is there in case that function needs an input. So this code I am showing to you now is a function that requires an input. Okay, so now I am telling the computer to greet Ken. Now let's run this code. Oh, I made an error somewhere. Let me see. Now type error. Greet takes a positional argument, but one was given. Okay, let me see. Good one. Good one. Okay, perfect. Now let's fix this again. Let's fix this again. Take a look. Now let me, what simply happened here is I missed this. Am I getting all the spellings correctly? Let me see. Okay, says great. Can. Okay. Verifying my code. What I'm doing now is called debugging, because if you are writing codes, expect errors. Okay, that's why people who do block coding, they experience less errors. But when you're writing text coding, when you're writing with text, expect more errors. Now let me do this. Okay, I think I have to take this off first. Now run this code. Okay, no. Oh, sorry. No, I'll say great. John. Yeah. Position again one, but one was given. What's wrong with my code today? Okay, am I getting a spelling wrong somewhere? Okay. Okay, now I okay, what is happening here is that there's an interference from my previous code and is affecting my current code. Now let me fix that using, let me refresh my browser. Now take note of this. If you're writing text based, okay, and I have used greets previously as my function name, your browser stores that name, greets. Okay, so this time the browser is becoming confused because I have used greet previously as a name for a function and I'm using it again. So now let's use a different name instead of greet. Let's use hello. Let's use okay, define hello. Take the perimeter name. Oh, I see where I got it wrong. Now, and I say this one print hello. Now, add it up with that name. Yeah, this is why I got it wrong somewhere. Now I'm fixing that with name. Now I'm adding it up to an exclamation mark. Have I done it right? Yeah, yeah. Guild. I think I got this right now. Yeah, that's good. Now let me run the hello function. So this hello function now is just going to say can. Okay, now let me run this code. Wow, good. It says hello. Oh, I was not supposed to put one here. I was supposed to put an exclamation mark. Okay. Now this says hello Ken without spaces. These are one of the funny things that new programmers do. Now, as a coder, how do you solve this problem? It said hello Ken, no spaces at all. There are many ways you can solve it. You can put a space after the hello, okay? Then put a space before the exclamation mark. Now we can run our code and it comes out well, hello Ken. Now, this is the function. Take note, the function takes an input of a name. That was what I missed. I missed that too earlier. That caused an error in my code. And you can see in the name, it takes a function, it takes what we call like an input. Okay, it takes an input in the name. Then and now what it simply does is that what it prints out information inclusive with the name you gave to it when calling it. Okay, now this hello Ken, I can still use this to say, okay, hey Python, you're done greeting Ken. Now greet John. Okay, don't greet Ken again, greet John and Ken also. Now I run this code. You see, it says hello Ken, hello John. Now, where is it getting its hello from? It's getting the hello from the function. It's getting this exclamation mark from the function as well. I can, okay, let me see a member of this class so that I can greet that member of the class. Okay, we have Usma. Now let me make it greet Usma. Hello, Usman. Yeah, did I spell it correctly? Let me check. Okay, yeah, correct, Usman. Hello, Usman. Now, all I need to do is to clear and run the code again. Now I have hello, Usman. Okay, so I can decide to greet as many people as I want using the same function. Okay, it's just like a computer looking at you and calling your name. Okay, the computer has taken your data and the computer just says something like, welcome, Usman. Okay, how does the computer know that you are Usman? Identification, yeah. But there's a function that is running under that computer that has made that computer attach, just like saying welcome, and it's just attach a name that it got from somewhere to that welcome, and it becomes welcome, Usman. Are we clear? Please, if you have questions or if there's anything not clear with this, please speak up in the WhatsApp group or in the in-call messages, or raise your hand up here. I will attend to every question before we move on. Okay, thank you so much, Gilbert. Thank you. Much love. Okay, so any question? Can I continue? If I can continue, just somebody push an emoji so I can continue. Okay, thank you so much, Gilbert. Now let's move on. Thank you. Now, the next thing we want to talk about, okay, is a function that takes input. Okay, it takes input, but if it doesn't know the input, okay, it's it has a default input. For instance, for instance, you create a robot, or let's say um, there is a machine or a device that sees you, okay, identifies your name, maybe from your ID card, and calls your name and tell you, oh, welcome, Mr. John, welcome, Mr. Usman. Okay, now that is a function. But what if the 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 the, the device is not able to know your name? What if the device doesn't know your name? Okay, or you are not with your ID card, or you are carrying an ID card without a name. Okay, that means the device would not be able to find your name. What is going to happen then? So that is where this kind of function comes in. Okay, now please, before I move ahead, I want you to know one thing. Please get used to these words. The kind of functions that the kind of functions that sorry, the kind of functions that takes inputs. Okay, you say the function takes in parameters. It takes in parameters. That's what it means. Okay, so now the next one that we'll be talking about, remember the first function we talked about does not take in parameter, it just gives you an output. The second one takes in parameter to give you an output. Okay, so this third one takes in parameter. Okay, but if there is no parameter, it still gives you an output. Now, let's do this. Let's define, let's define a function again using hello. Okay, now let's give it a name like um who can suggest a name for this function? You can drop your suggestion in my DM or in the classroom or in the meeting. Suggest a name for this function. Hmm? Anybody? Okay. Welcome. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I got that. Welcome. Okay. Okay, somebody said it's 10 minutes late. Okay, you're free. You can join I think there's a recording for this class. Okay. And if you pay attention, you will notice that I will some way somehow repeat. Okay, rephrase what I have said earlier. So now let's look at this. Now this particular function, hey, let me mute this person. Okay, somebody else said welcome. Please mute the person. Okay. Now let's create a function that takes an input. Okay, if there is an input. But if there is no input, the function will still give you an output. I call these functions for the lazy people. Yeah, that's what I tagged it in my material. Now let's do that together. Hello. Hello. Now we'll do this name. Remember the first one, we just placed something like this, name, meaning it takes in name as a parameter. But this time, we are going to say this name. Oh, sorry. You suggested welcome. Remind me. Because yeah, welcome. The name of the function is welcome. And now, instead of just leaving it this way like we did to the other one, this time around we are going to give it a default name. Let a default name. Yeah, a default name. A very general name like this. Let's give it something like a very general name like this. Okay. And don't forget to put your punctuation correctly. Now we've given our function a name, okay, and we've given it a name, and we've also told it what it should demand. That means demand for a name. But if there is no name at all, then call this person my friend. That's what we did here. Okay, demand for a name, but if this person doesn't give you a name, call this person my friend. You get that? Now let's now tell the function what to do using print. My function can work with a lot of things, not just print. I'm using print because it's very basic. Okay. That's this. Now let's say welcome home. So remember to use your plus sign. Okay. And it takes the parameter name. Okay. Then use a plus sign again. Now it takes this. Welcome home, anybody. Now, okay, good. Now, good code. Our code is cool. What we have simply done is we've told the function that function, your duty is to say welcome home. If the person's name is Ken, you say welcome home, Ken. If the person's name is Johnson, you say welcome home, Johnson. If the person's name is Usman, you say welcome home, Usman. Okay? Now, let's run our function. Just to run your function, just do welcome. Now, let's do this together. Now, let's say welcome. We did not give it any name. We did not tell it any name at all. So let's see what's going to happen. Now, you see? Oh, it said welcome home, my friend. Oh, I made that learner's mistake. Good. Where is it? I forgot to put the space here. Good. Now, I run the code again. It says welcome home, my friend. I did not give it any input. But what did it do? It picked this input up here. He picked this one. Now let me give it an input. Instead of now I am not your friend, I'll be like, hey Python, I'm not your friend. I have a name. Okay. Do something like this, and I tell it, hey, my name is Ken. Okay. So don't call me my friend. I'm Ken. Now I tell it, I run this, it says, oh, welcome home, my friend, and says, now let me clear this so that it just says, welcome to me alone. Yeah, okay. You see, welcome home, Ken. You see how this works? But if there is no input at all, and I just tell it to welcome somebody, and the person did not tell it its name, okay? My program does not know your name. My program will call you my friend. You see, my program will tell you, hey, you are my friend, because I don't know your name. Okay, you can see how this particular function works. So this is a function that takes in parameter also, okay? But if you did not give it a parameter, it continues, it still has something to do. It still has something to do. That means it has what? A default parameter. It has a default parameter. Now, let me hear from the class. Hello, are we following up with the class? Is there any difficulty? Is it sounding technical? Because I'm trying to make sure that I bring it down to a level that everybody will understand. Please, if you are good with the class, give me some emoji. And if you have any issue, thank you, Okiri. Yeah, if you have issues with it, please drop a message so that. Thank you, Gilbert. I really appreciate. Thank you. So if you have any, thank you, Osman. Okay. Okay. So, oh, thank you, Fidelis too. Much love. Okay, and thank me to myself. Thank you, Juliet, for small. Okay. Good. So, and let's get back to the class. Let's get back to the class. Let's get back to the class. Now let's do something, one more thing. Let me see. Let's look at, let's take a function. Let's build a function this time that takes multiple inputs instead of one input. It takes multiple inputs. That is, instead of just asking for one, just your name, it will ask for your name, ask for your age, ask for any other thing, and it will just just generate something from there. Now let's do this. Let's say def. Remember to always use def whenever you're creating a function. Okay. Now this function will ask for your name, comma. Take note of that comma, and it asks for your age, comma. It asks for your age. That's what this function does. It asks for two things. Don't forget this sign again. Now you hit enter button. Now, what does this function do? What does it do? It does, it, it's great. It says, hello, John, you are so years old. You are 3 years old. You are 4 years old. You are 10 years old. Is that a message from me? Okay. It says you are 4 years old. You are so years old. It just does that for you. Okay. So now, let's do this. We are going to do print, say, hello. Oh, I messed it up somewhere. We're going to do this. Always put anything that is a text should always be in quotes, please. You can use single quote or double quote. You can use double quotes like this or single quote. Anyone you like, use. Python respects anyone. Okay. So now let's do this. Hello. Okay. Now let me give up that space so it looks cool. Hello, plus name. Remember the name came from here. Okay. N-A-M-E. Hello is saying hello, John. Okay, let's say hello, John. Now we'll add plus again. Plus, let's do this. Is there a question in the class? Okay. Can somebody learn Python with little experience of? Yeah. Well, HTML and CSS and they are not programming languages, they are scripting languages, okay? Meaning they are used to build the design interface, okay? They used to build design interface, they used to build designs, used to work on web pages, okay? But the programming part of it, that is the automated part of it, that is where you find JavaScript, Python, and others, okay? But don't worry, you ask me that question privately. You can come to my DM and ask me privately. I will attend to that so that we can continue. Now, so just do this quickly. Print, okay, name. Now I'm going to let it say something. I'm going to use this again. Say you, or let me use small letter. You are. I want it to pick something. Now I just do age, right? I just do age the same way I did for name. Okay, let me put a plus sign. Age, same way I did for name, right? And I put a plus sign again. Okay. And this time I want years old. Now let me make my screen better so you all can see it correctly. Now this function does something. It says it takes in your name and your age, and it prints out hello name. You are 8 years old. That's what it does. Now let's run our function. Okay, let's run our function. Don't be shocked. Whatever you see, don't be shocked. Okay, let's run our code. Type error. Good one. I was expecting it. It says hello. Missing two required positional arguments, name and age. Missing two required positional arguments, name and age. That error message is complicated, yes. Okay, it is complicated. But what is happening here is that I have not imputed. Remember the first one we did, that the previous function we created. If there is no input, it gives you an input, okay? But this one requires an input. You must give it an input. So that is where I'm supposed to fix this. Like this output, and I say hello. Okay, now my input is, let me use single quote, John, and I am 16 years old. Yeah, my input is John and I am 16 years old. Now let me run this code and see what happens. Error, another error. Can only concatenate string, not integers to string. Now this error message is just common sense error message. Okay. Now look at it. I am adding. I am this thing I'm doing. You can see this error message mentions the word concatenate. I told you about concatenation earlier. I said concatenation works only when it is to join. When it is to join, not to sum up. 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay? But 5 concatenate with 5 is 55. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 concatenate with 1 is 11. That is 1, 1. Now, look at what we have done. We've created a very good function. Okay? But you are telling Python to add characters. That means to add letters. In programming, they are called strings. Okay? You are telling Python to add a string to a number. You are confusing Python. That's what you are doing. To add a string to a number, it's confusion. Python doesn't know what to do. Are we together? Python doesn't know what to do in this case. So what Python simply does, it tells you that, hey, there's an error. Python tells you that there's an error. So what this simply means is that in your code, you have to fix it. You have to fix it. So you have to tell Python that, hey, Python, please, in this function, whatever anybody puts in as age, turn it to a string. Let it not be a number. That means if the person puts in 5 as a number, treat the 5 as a string. Remember that calculator project we did, where we are making sure that what anything that is imputed is changed to an integer, that is a number. Look at this error message, can only concatenate strings, str, not integers to strings. Now we have done this. Let's clear our output and run our code again. Good. Our code works perfectly. It says, hello, John. You are 16 years old. But I also mixed up something somewhere. I should put a space here. So put a space here too. Now, so that it will look cool, let me run my code. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So this is an example of a string. This is an example of a string that takes multiple inputs. Okay, so remember something, that whenever you are adding, whenever you are concatenating, remember to always change any number you are asking for, any input as a number. Remember to always change it to a string using this code str. Okay, now let's run it again. Let's run hello Ken. Okay, I'll put it in a string Ken. Now I am 25 years old, for instance. Let me clear my output and run my code again. Oh, does perfectly well. It says, hello, Ken. You are 25 years old. So we'll be stopping here for today. And I will send you the material. There are assignments to do. Please, and remember our next class, we are building a project in our next class. We are building a project. Please, that project, first thing, before I go, I want to appreciate those of you that sent your assignment. I've reviewed it. You guys are doing very, very well. Very, very, very well. If I should mention names, now, like you guys are doing very well. You are really improving. Okay. So for our projects for today, no, our project will be next week. But for today, there's activities. Okay, like practice questions for you. I will send it to the WhatsApp platform, and I'll also send a recording of this video to the WhatsApp platform. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate. Okay, so can just give me okay, let's end the class here. Okay, so do have a blessed time, everyone. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me anytime, any day. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, dude. Let me show my face before this ends. Okay, peace. Okay, Juliet, I love you. I love you. Felix, I love you all. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, have a nice time. Yeah. Oh, Wilfred, thank you so much, Wilfred.